Welcome back to Doomsday Queen, where we're going to talk about prepping on a budget from the Dollar Tree. These are not all my bags, there's like 6. I bought everything that I've used over the years to show you how to prep on a budget. Whether you are working with a very large budget or a very small budget, you can prep on a budget. So it doesn't matter if you're prepping at the Dollar Tree, Walmart, Costco, or any other higher end stores, you can prep on a budget, and the only thing I care about is that you are going to be prepping. So we are going to be talking about some of my personal favorite Dollar Tree preps, along with a whole bunch of other ones out there. Make sure you drop below what some of your favorite Dollar Tree preps are, and make sure you like and subscribe on this channel. I greatly appreciate it. And let's get into these bags. Let's do this. Alright, on this table I have all of the preps that I picked up, but there's a lot more items you can use for prepping that come from the Dollar Tree. The Dollar Tree is a financial option for any person who is on a tight budget, or if you're not on a tight budget, you can just kind of fill the blanks in on your prepping. So let's talk about some of the items I have on here. Oh my gosh, there is so many. But we'll start off on the first one. The first one, I might be tossing some of this stuff to the side because I'm feeling a little overwhelmed here. Make sure you comment down below if you see any preps on this table that you have personally prepped yourself. So I have dog puppy pads. I know, really weird thing for us to talk about, but here's the thing. If there's a storm, a natural disaster, anything like that that happens, I have a house full of dogs. So for me personally, I'm going to want to have puppy pads out, because if my dogs cannot go outside for whatever could be happening, I want to make sure that I am not living in fecal matter. So we're going to dive into number 2, dog waste bags. I know, it's a weird thing to prep. I personally prep it because if my dogs are stuck inside for any reason whatsoever, they can be used for their waste. But also in a prepping matter, I mean, we're going to just already dive right into the shit. So you can be used for humans. Okay, I'm telling you right now, sanitation, especially if like something apocalyptic happened, that's going to be an issue that not a lot of people have addressed in their home, of how they're going to handle it. How are they going to dispose of it? Are you going to be in close proximity of it? A lot of people do not realize that you got to think about these things. So we're going to set those off to the side. Next, I'm going to be talking to you guys. Like, the Dollar Tree has so many different varieties of very cheap preps that anyone can have on hand. Now, do I think that you can find other stuff in different stores a lot cheaper? Absolutely. I feel like you could find a lot of different things. I think buying in bulk on flour is a lot cheaper than buying at the Dollar Tree. But let's say you are on a super, super tight budget and you only have $1.25 to step away from out of your normal budget. If you get flour, you most likely already have salt in your kitchen. You can make hardtack. I'm going to link in the description down below my hardtack video. It is literally a Great Depression video. It's a recipe. You can have shelf-stable food for decades down the road, and it's been used for centuries, to be honest. So, flour, very easy for you to use and have on hand. Now, I don't want to like go so grim into the pandemic, but let's talk about it for a moment. They have face masks, stuff like that. Let's say there's an illness outbreak, you're just trying to protect your family for whatever reason. If we went into a pandemic 2.0, that's a possibility. You know, nothing's impossible when it comes to prepping. So I do grab face masks. Do my family use face masks? No, but if there was such a disease that was contagious, I would want to take as many precautions as possible. And yes, I do have some more higher grade ones, but the Dollar Tree does have really cheap ones. They might not be the best quality, but at least there's something and it's not nothing. So those are excellent to add into your preps. All right, let's talk about my holy grail Dollar Tree prep, okay? I don't think there's a reason why any prepper out there should not have this somewhere in their stash. The reason is it's amazing. This right here, what you're gonna see is a quick flame. It's a sterno. Really amazing part about sterno, it's not the same name brand. It only has a 2-hour lifespan for it. Sterno is a safe way to heat food and cook food in your home that doesn't emit bad gases. So it's a lot safer than running a camping stove inside your home. You can boil water with sterno. I cook on my lives and on recordings many times with sterno. Sterno is completely safe. There is no reason that anybody shouldn't have a sterno cans inside their home along with a sterno stovetop that you can use to cook your food. And anyone can afford it. It is $1.25. So anytime I see these at the Dollar Tree, I pick up so many of them because I feel like it's such a valuable, very cheap fuel source that can provide heat, can provide a way to cook safely, discreetly. It's not emitting a bunch of smells where other people know what's going on. And it's been used for years in the catering field. It's amazing. I say add it to your preps. The next one we have is the herb rockets and the basil rocket. I've done the parsley. I do not have an update on the parsley, but they do have these things called herb rockets. And the herb rockets look like this. They're just a little tight mesh filled with seeds. I have been actually growing one and it is doing really, really well. I'm actually shocked on how much dill is coming up, but for $1.25, that's not too bad. And people said that this was never going to work. None of them have ever grown for them, but one of mine is working really, really well. So I think that this is a win for anybody who homesteads just to have in their stash. I just picked up the basil. I haven't tested the basil out, but I will be testing this one out because $1.25 and it fills up an entire pot. I'm pretty happy with. You can also buy seeds. It would be a lot cheaper. But this just seemed like a quick method to grow a lot in a small container very quickly. All right, the next one I'm going to talk about is seeds. The Dollar Tree has 4 for $1.25 on seeds. Most seed packets in the store are about $2.50 each where I live at. So these are a really good financial way to have extra seeds on hand. I actually use Dollar Tree seeds. Some people say that they don't grow. I have never had a problem with the Dollar Tree seeds. I've used them in my garden year after year, and I can up a lot of the food that comes from them. Okay, let's go into candles. All right, candles, tea light candles. You can store up a ton of candles. A ton. Everybody needs to have candles in their emergency preparedness. Okay, you want to have candles. I have a lot of solar stuff because I have kids, but I also have a ton of candles. The really cool part about tea light candles is you don't realize how much energy is emitted from the flame on a tea light candle. I can't remember off the top of my head how many BTUs it is, but it's a lot. You can heat an area with them. You can use them for sight. They are amazing. So picking up, just an extra slab of tea light candles, that's a very affordable prep to throw into your preps. All right, let's talk about candles, okay? These candles right here, I've had one lit for 24 hours before. They last a really long time, and these are actually one of those items that I use for my homemade fire starters. I like to melt these down and pour them over chicken bedding, and it makes a really cool fire starter that lasts a really long time. But candles are amazing to have on hand, especially when you're prepping. So $1.25, you have a very large candle that's going to last a long time. Perfect to add into your preps. Next, since we're still in the gardening phase, I'm going to talk about a few fun ones that we have. Spray bottles. Not only can you use this to mix up your own cleaning solutions, stuff like that, in any kind of emergency, I use these to spray all my seedlings. I do grow my own food, so I find out that, spray bottles, $1.25, excellent to have on hand, especially when you're starting seeds. And say something happened, like we went into an apocalyptic situation, I would want to be making sure that my seedlings are growing fast, and that is a source of food for me and my family, so I want to make sure that these are in my stocks. Since we're in the gardening section, pots, little pots that you can transplant your little starter seeds, your little seedlings into. They're a little bit larger than those little tiny cone seed starters, and it allows the plant to have enough room, enough root room, so it can grow bigger. I think it's a great option to have those into your preps. I have a ton of these. I like to recycle them year after year. Dollar Tree, you don't need to pay a high price to have starting pots. You're literally putting dirt in them and seedlings. So this is perfect to add into any prep. All right, let's talk about a non-conventional prep. Rip Its. It's an energy drink. It's $1.25. The military survives off of this and nicotine alone. And I drank a lot of these while I was in the service. I'm going to add these into my preps. I don't think they ever go bad. They were out in the heat when I was overseas in like 120-degree heat, and they still were fine. So if you're a veteran in here, write down below if you ever drank a Rip It. Rip-Its are always going to be in my stockpile. Ziploc bags. Ziploc bags is something I keep in my preps all the time. Why? Because I do use Ziploc bags to rehydrate a lot of freeze-dried food, especially when I'm on the go. And also, I like to store my fire starters when you're using cotton balls, which you can also get at the Dollar Tree, $1.25. Cotton balls, Vaseline, perfect fire starter, really quick, light, and burn. It's easy. I like to make those, mix these with Vaseline, and then put them into a Ziploc bag. It's perfect. So Ziploc bags are always going to be in my preps, along with tin foil. Obviously, you can use tin foil for many reasons. If not, your tin foil hats, okay? All right, don't judge me on this. But you can use it to cook. You can use it in so many different ways. Tin foil has, do your research. Tin foil's got a lot of different methods that can be used with it. All right, let's talk about some fun ones. All right, we got our apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar can not only be just for food, but it can be also medicinal too. So having extra apple cider vinegar in your preps is excellent, along with vinegar, $1.25. Now, do I think that you can find these at Walmart for a little bit cheaper? Not the apple cider vinegar, that one's a little bit harder to come by on the cheaper range, but white vinegar, yeah, you probably can get a lot larger container filled with white vinegar. I use this when I'm canning. I use it for cooking. You can use it for so many different things. Canning, cooking, cleaning. Vinegar's got a lot of purposes. Add vinegar to your preps. Baking soda right here. It also has medicinal uses, cleaning uses, cooking uses. Excellent to add into your preps. It's $1.25, and to be very honest, baking soda doesn't go bad. I don't know who told people that baking soda goes bad, but baking soda, it does well for a very, very, very long time. A very long time. Very long shelf life. Next, we're going to talk about food fatigue, ration fatigue. If you eat the same thing over and over, you're going to get really tired of it. So for me, I pick up a bunch of different seasonings. They're not expensive. It's $1.25. Just add them into your preps. So I have some sriracha seasoning. I have, some garlic pepper seasoning, lemon pepper, hot sauce, all the things that you could possibly want to add onto a dish to give it a little bit more flavor. Seasonings have a really long shelf life. It's going to be fine, guys. It's going to be fine. So add these into your preps, and it's really cheap. Another shelf-stable food that you can add to your prepper's pantry is milk. They do have shelf-stable milk available at the Dollar Tree. Now, I know some of you guys are going to come for me. I grew up really, really poor, and we didn't always have fresh milk, and I've used this stuff. So don't be judging somebody, because it does. It tastes like milk, but it is... I know somebody in the comments is going to say, one of you guys are going to make fun of the way I say milk. Okay, I'm from Utah. I know. Milk. Sorry. No, I'm going to say milk. All right, anyways, shelf-stable milk. Add that to your pantry list. It's great to have on hand. I also have freeze-dried milk as also, but yes, I cannot say that word correctly, so, go ahead. Come at me in the comments. Can't wait to hear it. All right, let's talk about it for the ladies, since we're already going to get the hate comments from me saying the word milk. All right. For all the females in here, you got to think sanitation needs. You're going to want to stock up. Name brand is not really going to matter. I got some not name brand. I got some organic ones over here. Now, do I also prep like menstruation cups and stuff like that? Yes. Yes, I do. But I also do have teenagers, and they're not ready for that level yet. So I highly suggest that you prep sanitation needs every time you go into the Dollar Tree for emergency purposes. All right, now that we can pass on away from that, because that got really weird really quickly. Let's talk about paracord. Dollar Tree does have paracord. Yes, it is not your 550 cord. It has some limitations, but paracord is paracord at the end of the day. You don't need something fancy. You just need it to get the job done. So if you're saving up money to have better 550 cord, go ahead, save on up. But it would be nice for you guys to have at least, even if it's $1.25 paracord in your stash. You never know what you might need to use it for, whether you are making a shelter. Paracord, you want that. All right, I'm gonna go into this one. This one is electrical tape. Don't ask me why I need to have electrical tape in my preps, but now I have an overabundance of electrical tape. You wanna know why? Because when my German Shepherd was a puppy, he decided to eat through some cords, some very important cords. And once again, I was out at the property. I'm pretty far away from any civilization. We gotta fix things, okay? I had to fix things and I realized I was lacking in electrical tape. So I am currently on the property trying to create a mini little hardware store out there, because sometimes you run into hiccups and problems, and whether it is in an emergency situation or just you could prep for a variety of reasons. But for me, electrical tape has now been like cranked up on that list. I know it seems strange, but I learned how to rewire some stuff and I was pretty proud of gaining a new skill. So electrical tape. Along with electrical tape, I'm going to talk about some of these, okay? Super glue. I was using pliers out at the property and one of the grips came off, and it would have been really nice to have some super glue to kind of repair items. So I think that having multi-purpose cement and super glue in your preps is very important, because you can fix a lot of different things and you never know when you're going to actually need it. So yes, I do think you should add it into your preps. Have you ever used any super glue to fix something like in an emergency and you didn't realize that you were going to need to have that on hand? Because I have. All right, let's talk about funnels. Okay, so I do not have a funnel out on the property. I do have funnels here. And when I was staying out there, it was really, really cold. It was about 11 degrees. I need to have funnels out there. I know that these aren't the best. These are cooking funnels. They're not the best. They're not the hardware store one. Once again, $1.25, and then when I save up a little bit of money, I'm going to go grab a different one. But anyways, I was outside refilling a generator up, and it was 11 degrees, and the spout broke off the gas. And it would have been a lot nicer to have a funnel to be able to pour the gas in when the spout broke off of the gas canister. So now these are definitely being thrown into the back of the camper. It's $1.25. I don't care. It's cheap, it's gonna work, it has its reasons. So yes, a funnel. All right, let's talk about fixing things. I have zip ties. Zip ties can not only come in handy when you're needing to secure an item, but it's great to have them. You're securing items, fixing items. You can get the longer and bigger ones if you have to detain someone. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not gonna judge what's gonna happen. The world's really weird, okay? So, zip ties. I cannot contest if I think these are good, okay? You guys are going to have to tell me down below. They do have batteries. I've tried their double A's and they didn't work well for me. I did pick up triple A's. I am going to test them out and see if they work. Let me know if you've ever used the batteries from the Dollar Tree and they worked really well for you. Candy. I like to throw candy in my preps, okay? $1.25, it's a nice sweet treat. Things get a little emotional, a little rough. I'm going to go with the Dollar Tree little treats, okay? We're going to have some morale pickups. We want to pick up our morale. All right, does the Dollar Tree have honey? Yes, they do. It is not 100% honey, so I don't know if I feel like this would be a decent prep for anyone. It is corn syrup and honey. It's kind of a mixture. So, I mean, I guess it's better than nothing, but you can make your own choices on that. For me, that's going to be a pass. I'm probably going to throw that into a barter bin. I won't throw that one across the floor. All right, we've got a bottle opener, can opener. Excellent to add into your preps, okay? Everyone, you probably already have this inside your home. I already have one inside my camper, but I'm going to put another one out there just in case. But yeah, you should have a can opener. It's $1.25. There's no reason. It's not going to break the bank. Another really good one to have, salt. Salt, this is iodized salt. Salt has a never-ending shelf life. Your body needs salt. Salt is an essential for your prepper pantry. You're going to want this on your shelf. It's great for canning, preserving. Get your salt. You need it. Also, medical-wise, you need salt. Along with medical-wise, once again, I am not a doctor. I know I haven't said that on here, but I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to give you guys any medical advice, but I like to pick up some small quantities of vitamins there, vitamin B12 and vitamin C. Why? Because say there is people with nutrient deficiencies such as The lack of vitamin C, that's what leads to scurvy. Okay, I know. I prep a lot of different things. Vitamins are good for you. It's important to have those in your system. So yeah, the Dollar Tree has some. I'm going to pick them up. All right, we are down to like our little last stack of things to review. So let's talk about it. Okay, Dollar Tree does have long grain white rice. They have some jasmine rice right here. It's not very much, but I mean, if you are on a really tight budget, I still think it would be more important for you guys to be able to go and buy rice in bulk and put more money aside. But yes, you can prep some staple food items at the Dollar Tree. Along with, they have black beans, kidney beans, and pinto beans. I do believe the pinto beans, it's a good price there because Walmart has them a little bit higher up. But having any of these on hand to prep, to just have on your shelf in case of an emergency, is extremely valuable. I'm sure you could find them a lot cheaper in bigger stores such as like Walmart, Costco, anything like that. You might want to get a larger quantity. It'll last you a lot longer. But if you are really down to it, you only have $1.25 that you're going to be able to prep with, yes, you can get some of these preps at the Dollar Tree. I don't care how you prep as long as you prep at the end of the day. Another one that is an easy one is foil pans. I know this sounds really weird, but I have used these with my Sterno cans from the Dollar Tree to cook up freeze-dried food and regular food off of our prepper pantry shelf. I've cooked up food while on live, and these work really, really well with those Sterno stovetops. So I like to add these into my preps. I know that they're not the most conventional thing to add into your preps, but they are small. They can fit on a stovetop. All right, the next one on my prep list from the Dollar Tree, trash bags. Trash bags. You can use them to hoist your X out. I'm just kidding. Trash bags. You're gonna want to be able to get rid of your trash. Ultimately, you can use trash bags for a lot of things. So, having trash bags in your preps, excellent idea. Okay, last but not least, oh no, we still have like 4 more items. Okay, we have 4 more items in here. I really went all in for you guys at the Dollar Tree, okay? All right, reusable rubber gloves. Not only is this good for sanitation reasons, I don't like to touch gross stuff. So I like to have rubber gloves in my preps, along with if you end up in a situation where you can't be exposed to certain chemicals or biochemicals. Gloves. You just need gloves, okay? Just trust me on this. You want gloves in your preps. If you can't afford to get a bunch of gloves, get some reusable, some thicker, multi-purpose gloves. They can do the job. Let's talk about plastic cutlery and paper plates. Over the years, I've gotten a lot of complaints saying, why do you add this into your preps? One of the reasons why is in an emergency, I would want to conserve as much of the water I have stored up. So I would not want to be washing a ton of dishes. And so I stack up on these because I can get rid of that in the waste and figure out what to do with that later while I'm trying to conserve water. Now that I've built up a really large water supply, I'm less worried about it, but at the same time, I'm still gonna worry about it. So adding paper plates and plastic silverware into your preps is amazing because if you only have so much water stored up, the average family doesn't even have 3 days of water stored up. Would you want to use your 3 days of water, drinking water, to wash dishes and hygiene versus having it for hydration? So at the end of the day, I'm going to say stock up on some extra plasticware and paper plates, and if all else fails, use them, birthday parties, whatever. At least it's not going to waste. Now let's talk about clothespins. I don't hear a lot of people talk about clothespins in their preps, and I feel like this comes from my family. My family has bins and bins and bins of clothespins because our house originally was not designed with electricity, and so we did dry a lot of our clothes. So what happens if society was to collapse? You no longer have a working washer and dryer. Have you really thought how you're going to handle those scenarios? Well, having clothespins, they're great for blocking off light in your windows. If you're trying to have light discipline in an emergency and you don't have curtains up, you can use these to help secure up more sheets, blankets, anything like that to block it. You can also use them to dry your clothes. So these are excellent to have into your preps. Super cheap and affordable. I mean, it's 60 of them in there, $1.25. You can't go wrong with some clothespins. Plus, at some point during the apocalypse, I'd like to wash my clothes and have them dry. So, clothespins, perfect. Add them to the stash. And last up on my preps is going to be matches and lighters. I did not pick up any lighters there. I did pick up stacks of matches. They have a different variety of them. Some people don't know how to use their ferro rods. So having a means to create heat, start a fire, very important, very cheap, $1.25, you are done. So if I missed any Dollar Tree preps, please write them down below. If you have any other cool financial frugal prepping tips that you want to discuss, let me hear it in the comments, and make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that thumbs up for me.